Hi everyone, this is Dr. Christina Edmondson, and I'm working on a piece specifically about the questions that our kids bring to us, the things that they want answers to. And kids typically are quite curious. This is actually a fantastic sign, although for the parent it can be very unnerving and unsettling, the questions that they'll pose to us. But it's a wonderful thing. It gives us insight into what they've been thinking about, the questions that they bring to us. And certainly it's better to be on the end of things where the kid is asking you questions than you seeking them out and asking them questions, right? So embrace it. Embrace the curiosity of that child that's in your home. So in thinking about this particular article, I've been watching the news lately, something I don't do a lot. But there's been a ton of topics on the news that I've thought to myself, man, if my kids ask me these questions, I need to get my answers together. Because there's some pretty controversial and provocative things that you can see on the news in just watching it for 5 minutes. And I thought, if my kids happen to glance at this, what would I say in response? And I'm wondering if you also might feel the same way. Well, it makes me think about something that happened when I was a really small kid, and I'll date myself a bit. There was a group called 2 Live Crew, and maybe you're familiar with them. And anyway, 2 Live Crew was infamous for raunchy lyrics. Raunchy lyrics in catchy tunes. That's why they were quite popular. And I remember there being a line in the song called "Me So Horny." That's right. I said that on video. And I didn't know what they were talking about. So I decided to ask my mom. Now, just to give you some imagery, this would be like watching Rudy ask Claire Huxtable this question. And so my mom, being the good, devout Black Baptist that she is, I went to her and asked her, what does the word horny mean? I mean, even now I find it pretty funny. And at the time, though, she definitely did not laugh. Her eyes got big, and I think she was wondering where I had heard this. The music wasn't allowed in her home, but it certainly got to my ears. And just like kids today, you may think you're guarding them from something, but a lot of things get to the eyes and the ears of our children. So our best option is to be prepared to handle the questions that surround those things. Well, my mother answered the question, and if you read the article, you'll get to see how she answered it, which is pretty funny. But this whole experience, when I reflect on that and the questions that are to come and the questions that I've already received from my girls, it makes me think about just some important elements in parenting and getting the questions from kids. And so I wanted to share these ideas with you. I hope that when you read the article that you will also share some ideas about things that you're doing in your home that may be a help and blessing to the folks that come by this particular article. One thing, though, I think that's important that I'd like to leave you with on the video is that when we don't know the answer to something that our kids bring to us, it is fantastic modeling to simply say, I don't know. Now, somewhere along the lines, our kids go from thinking that we know everything to thinking that we know nothing. And one of the things that unfortunately help to facilitate this transition is that we at times answer things in a way that's dishonest, or we dodge the question. And so we send the message to kids, you know what, either that's not worthy of getting an answer, that's a deviant or taboo question, or, let me just give you anything. And that's not the precedent that we want to set. Instead, we want to send the message that your question is important. And as a matter of fact, your question is so interesting and so important that you have stumped mom. You have stumped dad. And I want to give you an answer and a response that's as good as the question that you just asked me. So give me some time. Give me some time to think about it, to read about it, to pray about it. And let me come back to you. And let me model for you the way I want you to approach difficult questions in your life. That we just don't say anything, but we seek out a really strong answer. Even a strong answer for the ears of a small kid. Age appropriate, but a good answer. So please, I want you to read this article and tell me what you think about it. And please put down some ideas that you have, since I think there are a whole host of parents out there who really are trying to prepare themselves to answer the tough questions that face us. Take care. Bye-bye.